It's 3:12 a.m. Mark's eyes snap open. Not from a dream, not from a noise, from something much smaller. A pressure. A familiar, unwelcome pressure that means one thing. He's getting up to pee. Again. This is the third night in a row. The second time tonight. He shuffles to the bathroom half asleep, comes back, and lies there for 20, 30, sometimes 40 minutes before sleep finds him again. By the time his alarm goes off, he's exhausted. Not because he didn't go to bed early enough, but because his sleep got shattered into pieces before it ever had the chance to do its job. Here's the number that might surprise you. Waking up to urinate at night, doctors call it Nocturia, affects a huge percentage of adults over 30, not just people in their 60s and 70s like most people assume. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. In most cases, it is not actually a bladder problem at all. Most people treat this the exact same way Mark did, as an annoying but unavoidable part of getting older, something you just quietly manage by not drinking water after 7 p.m. and hoping for the best. But that approach almost never fixes it, because it's targeting the wrong cause. The truth is, waking up to pee at night can be triggered by at least 6 distinct, identifiable causes, and most of them have almost nothing to do with how much liquid you drank before bed. Some are about a hormone your body should be releasing at night and isn't. Some are about how your heart and kidneys handle fluid while you're lying flat. And some are quiet signals of something bigger going on that deserves a doctor's attention. Not another cup less of water. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's disrupting your sleep, which of the 6 causes is most likely behind yours, the myths keeping people stuck in this cycle for years, and a real, step-by-step plan to actually calm this down. Not by white-knuckling through dehydration, but by fixing the actual mechanism. If you've been waking up 1, 2, 3 times a night for months or years and just accepted it as your new normal, stay with me. This is the video where that changes. The hidden signs in science. Let's start with what's supposed to happen at night, because that's the key to understanding why it sometimes doesn't. During the day, your kidneys filter blood and produce urine at a fairly steady rate. But at night, your body is designed to hit the brakes. It releases a hormone called antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, sometimes called vasopressin, whose entire job is to tell your kidneys to concentrate your urine and produce less of it while you sleep. This is why a healthy adult can typically sleep 7 or 8 hours without needing to get up. Your body deliberately slows urine production overnight, so your bladder doesn't fill up before your alarm does. When that system works the way it's supposed to, you sleep through the night. When it doesn't, for any of several reasons, your kidneys keep producing urine at a daytime rate while you're asleep. Your bladder fills faster than it should, and it wakes you up to empty it. That's Nocturia. In one sentence, your body making nighttime urine like it's still daytime. So the real question isn't why do I need to pee at night? It's why hasn't my body slowed down production the way it's supposed to? And that question has several possible answers. Let's go through them. Cause 1. Reduced nighttime ADH production. This becomes more common as we age. The hormone that's supposed to concentrate your urine overnight simply gets released in smaller amounts, so your kidneys keep producing urine at close to a daytime rate all night long. This is one of the single biggest reasons healthy older adults experience nocturia even with no bladder problem at all. Cause 2. An overactive or smaller capacity bladder. This is what most people assume is happening, and sometimes it is. The bladder muscle contracts before it's actually full, sending an urgent "you need to go" signal even when there's not much urine in there. This can be linked to bladder irritation, inflammation, or in some cases pelvic floor changes. Unlike the hormone issue, this cause is about signaling, not volume. The bladder essentially cries wolf. Cause 3. Fluid shifting when you lie down. This one surprises almost everyone. During the day, especially if you're on your feet a lot, fluid can pool in your lower legs due to gravity. You might notice mild ankle swelling by evening. When you lie down flat to sleep, that pooled fluid redistributes back into your bloodstream, gets filtered by your kidneys, and turns into urine, right in the middle of the night. This is especially relevant for people with mild circulation issues, sight and heart conditions, or who simply sit or stand for long stretches during the day. Cause 4. Elevated blood sugar. When blood sugar runs high, the kidneys pull extra water into the urine to help flush out the excess glucose, a process that can significantly increase urine volume, day and night. Frequent nighttime urination, especially paired with excessive thirst, is a classic early sign clinicians look for when screening for diabetes or prediabetes. This is exactly the kind of cause a lifestyle tweak alone won't fix. It needs a conversation with a doctor. Cause 5. Sleep apnea. This connection catches almost everyone off guard. When breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, it changes pressure inside the chest and affects hormone signaling in a way that can increase urine production overnight. Studies on people with moderate to severe sleep apnea consistently show significantly higher rates of nocturia. And, notably, treating the sleep apnea often dramatically reduces the nighttime bathroom trips without touching the bladder at all. Cause 6, and this is the one most people already suspect, so let's be precise about it. Evening fluid, caffeine, and alcohol intake. Caffeine and alcohol are both mild diuretics. They increase urine production. Alcohol also suppresses ADH release, working against the exact nighttime hormone signal we talked about earlier. A large glass of wine or an evening coffee doesn't just add fluid volume. It actively tells your kidneys to keep producing urine at a daytime rate, right when they are supposed to be slowing down. Here's what I want you to notice. Only one of those 6 causes, the last one, is really about how much you drank. The other 5 are about hormones, circulation, blood sugar, and breathing. That's exactly why the advice just stop drinking water after dinner fails so many people. It's treating 1/6 of the actual problem. In men, there's an additional and very common contributor worth naming specifically, an enlarged prostate, medically called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. As the prostate gland enlarges with age, it can press on the urethra and irritate the bladder, causing both increased urinary frequency and that sudden, urgent feeling, including at night. If you're a man over 50 dealing with nocturia alongside a weaker urine stream or difficulty starting urination, this is a specific pattern worth mentioning to a doctor by name. Now that you understand what's actually driving this, let's clear up the myths that keep people managing it wrong for years. Misconceptions and myths. Myth number 1. It's just part of getting older. Nothing to be done about it. Age does increase the likelihood of several of the causes we just covered, especially the ADH hormone decline. But more likely with age is not the same as unfixable. Every single cause we discussed, hormonal, bladder-related, circulatory, blood sugar, sleep apnea, or habit-based, has an identifiable management approach. Nocturia is common with age. It is not something you're required to simply endure. Myth number 2. I just need to drink less water in general, not just at night. This is not only unhelpful, it can actually backfire. Chronic mild dehydration can concentrate your urine, irritate your bladder lining, and in some cases make urinary urgency worse, not better. It can also affect kidney function and overall health over time. The fix isn't drinking less overall, it's shifting when you drink, which we'll cover in detail in the action plan. Myth number 3. If I'm waking up to pee, it must be a bladder infection. Sometimes frequent urination is linked to a urinary tract infection, but infections usually come with other signs too: burning or pain when urinating, cloudy or strong-smelling urine, or pelvic discomfort. Chronic nocturia without those symptoms is far more often linked to the 6 causes we just walked through, not an infection. That said, if those additional symptoms are present, that's a reason to see a doctor promptly, not to wait it out. Myth number 4. This is just an annoying inconvenience. It's not really affecting my health. This one deserves pushback. Fragmented sleep isn't a minor inconvenience. Sleep researchers consistently link chronic sleep interruption to elevated risks for high blood pressure, impaired glucose regulation, mood disturbances, and reduced immune function. If you're waking up multiple times a night, every night, for months or years, the downstream effect on your overall health is very real, even if the bathroom trip itself feels trivial in the moment. Myth number 5. There's nothing my doctor can really do about this. It's not worth bringing up. This might be the most costly myth of all, because several of the underlying causes we covered, blood sugar issues, sleep apnea, an enlarged prostate, circulatory issues, are things a doctor can actually test for, diagnose, and treat directly, often with significant improvement. Bringing it up isn't wasting your doctor's time over just peeing at night. You're describing a symptom that can be an early signal of several treatable conditions. Notice the pattern again. Every one of these myths ends the same way, with someone quietly tolerating something instead of addressing it. Let's fix that right now with an actual plan. This is the section to save, because these steps are designed to target each of the 6 causes we just covered, not just guess and hope. Step 1. Shift when you drink. not how much you drink overall. Aim to get the majority of your daily fluids in earlier in the day, and taper down in the 2 to 3 hours before bed rather than cutting off water entirely. A general, commonly recommended approach is limiting fluid intake to a light amount in the final hour or two before sleep, enough to avoid thirst, not enough to top off your bladder right before lying down. Total daily hydration should stay consistent. You're redistributing it, not restricting it. Step 2. Move caffeine earlier and reduce evening alcohol. Given what we now know, that caffeine increases urine output and alcohol actively suppresses the hormone that's supposed to slow nighttime urine production, an evening coffee or a nightcap is working directly against your sleep. Try shifting your last caffeine intake to before early afternoon, and notice what happens to your nighttime wake-ups when you reduce evening alcohol, even for just a week. Step 3. If you notice ankle or lower leg swelling by evening, address it earlier in the day. Elevating your legs above heart level for 20 to 30 minutes in the mid-afternoon can help your body reabsorb and process that pooled fluid before bedtime, rather than all at once overnight while you're lying flat. Compression socks during the day can also help reduce this pooling for people who are on their feet often. If swelling is significant, new, or one-sided, that's worth a medical evaluation rather than a home fix, since it can sometimes signal a circulatory or cardiac issue. Step 4. If the cause seems more bladder-related than fluid-related, try gradual bladder training during the day. This means, when you feel the urge to go during waking hours, waiting just 5 to 10 extra minutes before heading to the bathroom, gradually extending that window over several weeks. This can help red-rain a bladder that's been signaling urgency before it's actually full. Pairing this with pelvic floor exercises can further support bladder control over time. Step 5. Bring this up with your doctor and ask about the specific, testable causes we covered. This is the step people skip most often, and it's the one most likely to actually solve a stubborn case. Ask specifically about a blood sugar screening, since elevated glucose is a well-known driver of nighttime urination. A conversation about sleep quality and snoring, since sleep apnea is dramatically underdiagnosed and directly linked to nocturia. And, for men, a prostate check, since BPH is extremely common and very manageable once identified. You don't need to diagnose yourself. You just need to walk in and say, I'm waking up multiple times a night to urinate. Can we check for these specific causes? Step 6. Review your medications with your doctor or pharmacist. Certain medications, including some blood pressure medications and diuretics, are more effective when taken earlier in the day rather than in the evening, specifically to avoid increasing nighttime urine production. Never adjust a prescribed medication schedule on your own, but it's a completely reasonable and common question to bring to whoever manages your prescriptions. Step 7. Keep a simple 2-week log. Just 3 columns. What time you drank fluids and what kind, what time you went to bed, and what time you woke up to urinate. This single habit does something powerful. It turns a vague, frustrating problem into a pattern you and your doctor can actually see and act on. Most people are stunned at how clearly the pattern shows up once it's written down instead of just remembered. None of these 7 steps require dramatic life changes. They require targeting the actual mechanism behind your specific case, instead of applying one generic tip and hoping it sticks. For some people, it's almost entirely about caffeine and alcohol timing. For others, it's a conversation about sleep apnea that changes everything. The plan works because it matches the fix to the cause. Let's bring this together, because I want you walking away from this video with something you can actually use tonight. Not just information you nod along to and forget by tomorrow. Waking up to pee at night is not simply part of getting older, and it's rarely just about how much water you drank. It comes down to one or more of 6 specific, identifiable causes. A decline in the nighttime hormone that's supposed to slow urine production, an overactive bladder signaling too early, fluid redistributing when you lie flat, elevated blood sugar, undiagnosed sleep apnea, or evening habits like caffeine and alcohol working against your body's natural nighttime rhythm. We debunked the myths keeping people stuck, that this is unfixable with age, that drinking less overall is the answer, that it's always an infection, that it's a harmless inconvenience, and that it's not worth mentioning to a doctor. Every one of those beliefs keeps someone tolerating a problem that, in most cases, has a real, targetable fix. And we walk through the plan. Shift your fluid timing rather than cutting it. Move caffeine earlier and ease off evening alcohol. Address daytime fluid pooling. Gently train your bladder. Get screened for the causes that actually need medical attention. review your medication timing, and track it for 2 weeks so the pattern becomes visible. Here's what I really want you to take from this. Broken, fragmented sleep isn't something you have to accept as your new normal for the next 20 years. In most cases, this is one of the most fixable sleep disruptors out there. Once you know which of these 6 mechanisms is actually behind yours instead of guessing. If this video helped you understand something about your own sleep that you'd never had explained clearly before, do 3 things for me. Subscribe, because we're going to keep breaking down the everyday health issues nobody explains properly. Drop a comment and tell me how many times a night you're waking up. You might be surprised how many other people in the comments are dealing with the exact same thing. And share this with someone in your life who's been quietly exhausted from this for years, blaming it on age, when the real answer might be sitting in this video. Try the 2-week log starting tonight. Come back and tell me what pattern you find. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.